Proszę Państwa.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us start. As it is after 11 o'clock, let me welcome you all as a person authorized to open the General Shareholders Meeting of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. Let me welcome all shareholders. Let me welcome Mr. Notary Public. Thank you very much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start implementing point 2 of the agenda, that is the adoption, that is appointment of the chairman, please provide me with a list of attendance of today's meeting, and shortly after that I will provide you with a short piece of information on the mode of voting.
I proszę mi powiedzieć. Proszę Państwa, na ogólny...
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the general number of shares 1,209,342 as 100%, represented by 57 shareholders, and the number of shares 768,325,915, constituting 43.84%, and the same number of votes, that is 768,325,915. Ladies and gentlemen, the voting is going to take place by means of the computer system, and if there are any questions, then I will like the representative of the computer ID system provided to provide you with the information on the mode of voting. Good morning. Each of you has received a set of 3 cards for voting. Each of the cards is described by yes, no, that is against the resolution, and WST, meaning abstention from voting. The act of voting consists in approaching each of the readers of the cards and placing the card of the given decision that you are making. Now, after the card is correctly read, the reader will confirm it by a red LED flashing. If you wish to divide your votes during the voting, at the back of the hall there is a station where split voting can take place. It is not possible to vote numerous times during one voting, which means that by putting the same card or various cards a few times by the same shareholder means that the card is going to be read only once, and if the given shareholder does not place any of the cards, it means that in the given voting the given shareholder did not participate, and the votes represented by the given person will not be included in the overall number of votes. In the last part, the system provides you with confidentiality of voting. If there are any questions, please ask them now. Of course, we are at your disposal at any time, so if there are any problems, troubles, we'll provide you with assistance. Thank you very much. Thank you. I understand everything is clear. Therefore, we move to point 2 of the agenda, that is appointment of the chairperson of the general meeting, and I'd like you to provide us with the candidates for the chairperson of today's meeting. Mr. Sławomir Bereziński is submitted as a candidate for the chairperson of today's meeting. Thank you very much. If there are any other candidates for the chairperson's position, I see none. Does Mr. Sławomir Bereziński approve of this? Let me ask you once again if there are any candidates. There are none. Therefore, we are going to vote for the appointment of the chairperson in confidential secret voting. Right now, I ordain the voting for selection of the chairperson for today's extraordinary meeting. Please vote now.
Czy wszyscy
Have all of you voted? I see yes, then the voting is closed. And please provide me with the protocol of the voting. Ladies and gentlemen, there were 768,325,915 votes valid, and the same number votes for, that is 768,325,915 votes for, constituting 43.84% of the initial capital. There were no votes against and no abstentions from voting. Therefore, I confirm that the General Shareholders Meeting adopted the resolution number 1, regarding the appointment of the chairperson, acting on the basis of Article 409, paragraph 1 of the Commercial Companies Code of Conduct. General Shareholders Meeting of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. with its registered office in Katowice resolves that Mr. Brzeziński is hereby appointed as chairman of the extraordinary General Shareholders Meeting of the company, and the resolution comes into force as of its adoption date. I hereby request that Mr. Chairman, take the floor and head the meeting henceforth.
Witam serdecznie. Chciałbym podziękować w tej chwili za okazane mi zaufanie i wybór na przewodniczącego walnego zgromadzenia spółki Tauron Polska Energia S.A. w Katowicach. Proszę o dostarczenie mi listy obecności.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity of being the chairperson. Please provide me with a list of attendance. I hereby claim that based on documents provided that today's meeting of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. in Katowice has been convened in an appropriate manner by means of publishing the notification at the website and in accordance with the relevant resolutions on public offering under the organized system of market turnover and public companies, that is 20 days prior to the date.
Określonej w artykule 402.2 Kodeks spółek handlowych. Lista akcjonariuszy
The list of shareholders appointed to participate in the meeting, signed by the management board of the company 3 days prior to the meeting, that is on 6th November 2010. I hereby inform you that by today, 3 points of the agenda proposed realized. Let us now move to point 4, that is adoption of the agenda. I'd like to inform you that the agenda of the extraordinary general meeting of the company has been published at the company's website on the 15th of November 2010. On 20th November, by a letter from 19th November, a shareholder representing more than 5% of the initial capital of the company, that is Tauron Polska Energia S.A., that is the State Treasury of the Republic of Poland, lodged an application to supplement the agenda regarding the amount of remuneration for the members of the Supervisory Board of Tauron Polska Energia S.A., also enclosing the draft resolution in accordance to the Commercial Companies Code. On the 21st of November 2010, the Management Board announced the amendments to the agenda in an appropriate manner and in accordance by the relevant regulations, that is by publishing the new agenda on the company's website and by notifying the shareholders on a current basis in accordance with the regulations on regulated market and public partnerships. Let us move on to the resolution on the adoption of the agenda of the extraordinary general meeting. I would like to ask the shareholders if they have any remarks, questions or reservations to the agenda proposed.
Ja nie widzę.
I see none. Now, on my own behalf, I would like to propose slight amendment for point 7 of the agenda, that is adoption of a resolution on amendments to the Articles of Association. Now, in this point of the agenda, it is suggested that one resolution is going to be adopted, but due to the fact that the Management Board of the company requests for several amendments regarding several subjects, I hereby request that this point be modified, adoption of resolutions on amendment to the Articles of Association, meaning that the voting should take place regarding each separate resolution and each separate amendment.
Chciałbym zapytać, czy ewentualnie...
Now I'd like to ask you if there are any other requests. I couldn't hear the question. The draft resolution regarded 3 amendments to the Articles of Association. That is, in paragraph 5, by adding point 3, in paragraph 33, and in paragraph 40. Now, I understand the first 2 amendments regarding one scope of matters, that is, the changes of the subject of activity and the related purchase of the shareholders' shares by the company. Now, the amendment regarding paragraph 40 concerned the dividend. Now, due to the fact that those are 2 different subjects and each shareholder can have a different opinion regarding those amendments, now the first one is about decreasing the initial capital, whereas I'm talking about agenda point 7. One remark, please, from the initiative of the Management Board. Now, when the General Shareholders Meeting was convened, the point of the agenda is in the agenda due to the fact that the last meeting resolved on changing the Articles of Association. Now the Register Court in Katowice claims that there are certain problems as this amendment is not registered yet, and this amendment is a major one due to the fact that this is a major one. The management board initiated this discussion, and as for today there is no positive opinion of the court, and it is not the aim of the management board to restrict the rights of the minority shareholders. Then we propose that this amendment is not introduced. There was a discussion at the supervisory board, and the supervisory board has not given its opinion. Hence the proposal to deal only with a very formal problem, that is the dividend, and we will come back to the topic, come back to this subject if the process, the legal process expands and is delayed. This is very important from the business point of view. When a competences for purchasing coal from a barter company to the level of the Tauron Group, this is slightly important decision, and there is still a discourse continued. Of course, in the extreme cases, and this resolution and this decision is probably going to be appealed against, which will additionally delay the process of its adoption. But for today, let us initiate, and we hence propose that for the given point only one change is made. Once again, I cannot hear the speaker as he is not speaking to the microphone.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you very much. Due to the fact that Mr. President said that we are not going to make a decision on amendments to paragraph 5 and paragraph 33, and there will be a formal request from the shareholder concerning the amendment to the resolution. Hence, I withdraw my request, my motion. Let us now vote on the resolution on the adoption of the agenda of the extraordinary general meeting of the company.
Odczytam w tej chwili.
Let me read the wording of the resolution draft. Resolution number 2 of the Extraordinary General Meeting of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. of 10th November 2010 concerning the adoption of the agenda of the Extraordinary General Meeting of the company. The Extraordinary General Meeting of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. with its registered office in Katowice results as follows. Paragraph 1. The Extraordinary General Meeting adopted the following agenda of the meeting. Point 1. Opening of the Extraordinary General Meeting. Point 2. Appointment of the Chairman of the meeting. Point 3. Confirmation of the Extraordinary General Meeting has been called accurately and the shareholders are capable of adopting resolutions. And preparation of an attendance list. Point 4. Adoption of the agenda. Point 5. Appointment of the returning committee. Point 6. Adoption of a resolution on decreasing the share capital through amendments to the Articles of Association by decreasing the par value of a share. Point 7, adoption of a resolution on amendments to the Articles of Association. Point 8, closure of determination of remuneration to the members of the Supervisory Board. And point 9, closure of the Extraordinary General Meeting. Paragraph 2, the resolution comes into force as of its adoption date. I hereby ordain an open voting on the agenda of today's meeting. Please vote now.
Zamykam głosowanie.
I hereby close the voting and ask if all of the shareholders were capable of voting. Please provide me with the protocol from the voting.
Dziękuję.
Thank you very much.
Stwierdzam,
Let me say that the resolution on adoption of the agenda of the extraordinary general meeting of the company, there were 748,325,701 votes for, 214 votes against the resolution, and no abstentions from voting. I declare the agenda approved. Excuse me, once again, I can't hear the speaker as he's not talking to the microphone. That's just out of curiosity, out of information. Let us not repeat. The resolution was adopted by the majority of votes, 99.99% of votes.
przystąpimy teraz do podjęcia uchwał.
Let us now move on to the next point, that is the appointment of the returning committee. I request that the candidates to the returning committee be submitted right now. At the same time, I propose that the returning committee be composed of no less than 3 persons. According to the statute of rules and regulations approved by the General Shareholders Meeting, the General Shareholders Meeting appoints the returning committee to perform the duties. For instance, the supervision of the voting, especially the activities of the persons counting the votes and providing reports to the chairperson. The committee is composed of 3 persons elected by the shareholders meeting. Now, on my behalf, I would like to propose I understand that one of the shareholders is new shareholders is here at the meeting. Please provide the information to the chairperson. Now, according to the rules and regulations of the meeting, there is a possibility of adding a shareholder to the attendance list. But let me verify this, please.
Tak, nie ma przeciwwskazań.
There are no contradictions towards it. The shareholder has been registered. Thank you very much. We have updated information on the attendance list of today's meeting. Now, on my behalf, to continue, I'd like to propose that Mr. Andrzej Pucnal be elected to the returning committee. Is he present here? Do you agree to be a candidate to the returning committee? Mrs. Romana Kaczmarek, you are here, I can see. Do you approve? Yes. Thank you very much. And Mr. Marcin Spoper, you are present, and I can see you approve of the candidacy. Are there any other candidates submitted? I see none. Now, in order to efficiently appoint the returning committee, I suggest that one voting is conducted for all candidates. If I hear no objection, I would decide that the shareholders meeting approves of such a solution. I hereby ordain voting on the returning committee in a composition of Andrzej Pucnal, Mrs. Romana Kaczmarek, and Mr. Marcin Spoper.
Chciałbym zapytać, czy wszyscy akcjonariusze mieli...
I'd like to ask if all the shareholders had the occasion of voting. Thank you very much. I understand that all the shareholders had the occasion of voting. Therefore, I close the voting, and please provide me the report. I hereby declare that there were 827,664,418 votes for the resolution. There were no votes against, and there were no persons abstaining from voting. And I hereby declare the resolution has been adopted. Resolution number 3 of the Extraordinary General Meeting of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. held on November the 10th, 2010, on the appointment of the returning committee of the Extraordinary General Meeting. The Extraordinary General Meeting of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. with its registered office in Katowice resolves as follows, acting pursuant to Article 15 of the Articles of Association. Paragraph 1, the returning committee composed of Mr. Andrzej Pucner, Mrs. Romana Kaczmarek, Mr. Marcin Szpoter. Paragraph 2, the resolution comes into force as of its adoption date.
Proszę zatem o ukonstytuowanie się...
Now I'd like the committee to constitute itself and elect the chairperson of the returning committee. Next point is a resolution on decreasing the share capital through amendments to the Articles of Association by decreasing the nominal value of a share. All the documents regarding to the decreasing of the share capital have been provided to you in the materials provided. Due to the fact that the draft resolution has already been published at the website, let us inform you that the District Court for Katowice, by its resolution from the 2nd November 2010, registered the increase of the company's initial capital by amendment to the Articles of Association, according to resolution of the General Shareholders Meeting of 26 April 2010. Regarding the increase of the company's initial capital, except for the right of the former shareholders to purchase the shares. Now, are there any inquiries or motions regarding the given resolution draft of decreasing of the share capital by decreasing the nominal value of a share? As I see no reservations from the shareholders, I see no motions or requests. Let us now vote on the resolution on decreasing the share capital through amendments to the Articles of Association by decreasing the nominal value of a share. Resolution number 4 of the Extraordinary General Meeting of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. held on 10th November 2010 on decreasing the share capital through amendments to the Articles of Association by decreasing the nominal value of a share. The Extraordinary General Shareholders Meeting of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. with its registered office in Katowice, acting on the basis of Article 455, paragraph 1 and 2 of the Commercial Companies Code and paragraph 35.1.9 and paragraph 35.1.18 of the company resolves as follows. Paragraph 1.1, the share capital of the company is decreased by amendments to the company's Articles of Association by 7,010,197,576 Polish zlotys from the amount of 15,772,944,546 Polish zlotys to the amount of 8,762,746,970 Polish zlotys by decreasing the nominal value of each share by 4 Polish zlotys from the amount of 9 Polish zlotys each to the amount of 5 Polish zlotys each. Point 2, the amount of decrease of the share capital provided for in subparagraph 1 shall be transferred from the share capital to the spare capital. In subparagraph 3, decrease of the share capital shall be exclusive of payment of resources to shareholders. Paragraph 2. Decrease of the share capital by the amount of 7,010,197,576 Polish zlotys is to serve reorganization of the company's equities by means of elimination of imbalance between the share capital of the spare capital and between the share nominal value and the market value. Paragraph 3. Due to the foregoing, the wording of paragraph 7 of the Articles of Association of the company shall be amended and have the following wording. Paragraph 4.
Kapitał zakładowy spółki.
Paragraph 7. The share capital of the company is 8,762,746,970 Polish zlotys and is divided into 1,752,549,394 Polish zlotys. Polish shares of the nominal value of 5 Polish zlotys each, including 1,589,438,762 Series AA bearer shares, normal shares, and 163,110,632 Series BB ordinary bearer shares. Paragraph 4. The resolution comes into force as of its adoption date. I hereby ordain the voting on resolution number 4, the resolution of the wording I have provided you with a moment ago.
Chciałbym zapytać, czy wszyscy
I'd like to ask if all the shareholders were capable of voting.
Zamykam głosowanie.
I hereby close the voting and I'd like the returning committee to provide me with the report.
Dziękuję.
Thank you very much. I hereby declare that there have been the following results of the voting on the resolution. 827,664,418 votes for the resolution, no votes against, and no abstentions from voting, and therefore declare the resolution number 4, to be adopted.
Kolejnym punktem obrad
Next point of the agenda is adoption of resolution on amendments to the Articles of Association of the company.
Mając na uwadze
Bearing in mind the standpoint of the management board of the company regarding the amendments to the Articles of Association covered by point 7, I'd like to bring in a motion. Thank you very much.
odczytam wniosek.
Let me read the motion to you. Shareholder Daniel Sierakowski to the General Shareholders Meeting, acting pursuant to Article 401, Paragraph 5 of the Code of Commercial Companies, I hereby enter the motion of voting on the point 7 to the agenda, that is amendments to the Articles of Association, by voting only on amending of paragraph 40, of giving it the following wording. Paragraph 40, subparagraph 4, the record date and dividend payment date shall be determined by the ordinary general meeting. The record date may be determined as of the date of adoption of a resolution on distribution of profit or within the next 3 months of the given date. What was presented to me was also a resolution draft of the extraordinary general meeting of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. dated November 10th, 2010, concerning amendments to the Articles of Association. Let me read it to you, and I suggest that after the reading of the proposed motion, the motion is voted on and approved by voting on the wording of the resolution, and adoption of this resolution will effect no necessity of voting on the resolution of the wording provided to you in the materials. I represent 24 minority shareholders. Does it mean that by one resolution we are supposed to approve of all the amendments? Now I understand that. Therefore, I propose that we take 10 minutes of break to become familiar with the proposed wording. I accept the motion, and I resolve that we take 10 minutes break.
Mam taką prośbę, proszę ewentualnie
I have a request that those shareholders that are not here yet be requested to continue to come here in order for us to continue the meeting after the break.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you very much for that.
W związku z złożonym wnioskiem, który
Now, with reference to the motion submitted, I'd like to submit the motion for formal voting on limiting the wording of the resolution, and hereby I ordain the voting upon the formal motion submitted before the break. Please vote now.
chciałbym zapytać, czy wszyscy akceptują.
I'd like to ask if all the shareholders were capable of voting. If so, let me close the voting now. I'd like the returning committee to provide me with a report on the voting.
Dziękuję.
Thank you very much for the protocol. I hereby declare that the the motion for limiting the wording of resolution number 5 of the extraordinary general meeting, there were 710,760,352 votes for, 0 votes against, and 116,904,066 abstentions. And therefore, I declare the motion approved. Right now, let us move on to adoption of resolution concerning the amendments to the Articles of Association. Let me read once again the draft resolution as proposed by the motion submitter, also including the limitations of the wording. Resolution number 5 of the extraordinary general meeting of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. held on 10th November 2010 concerning amendments to the Articles of Association. Acting based on Article 430, paragraph 1 of the Commercial Companies Code and paragraph 35.1.18 of the Company's Articles of Association, the extraordinary general meeting of Tauron Polska S.A. with its register offices in Katowice results as follow. Paragraph 1. The following amendments to the Articles of Association of the company shall be made. Paragraph 40, subparagraph 4 shall have the following wording. Subparagraph 4. Record day and dividend payment day shall be determined by an ordinary general meeting. The record day may be determined as of the date of adoption of a resolution on distribution of profit or within the next 3 months as of the date. Paragraph 2. The resolution comes into force as of its adoption date. At the same time, I'd like to notify you that if the General Shareholders Meeting adopts this resolution, the resolution of the wording I provide you with, will result in not being forced to vote on a resolution, one of the resolutions in the wording provided in the materials prepared for today's meeting.
Tak, proszę bardzo.
Yes, I see there is a motion from the shareholder. I have a formal motion regarding the substantiation. The substantiation, naturally, with regard to the amendment of point 40. The substantiation is quite clear, but I have a kind request to the management board for us to move back to the subject of amendments in point 5 and 33, that is the major amendments to the classification of activities. I suppose that the substantiation could be more down to earth, showing us the business, the economic grounds for such a resolution, as what is provided in the materials is basically a summary of 2 points from the Code of Commercial Companies. That's my kind and humble request, nothing else. We are talking about the substantiation to the amendments regarding paragraph 40. Are we talking about paragraph 40? I understand, so I kindly request that the management board comments on that to present the standpoint of the management board. Of course, the management board will provide its substantiation and will provide its attitude if we move to what I have already mentioned. We actually hope that we won't be forced to make such amendments, as it's not the interest of the management board to limit the interest of the minority shareholders. But if, due to various reasons, we receive a negative decision of the register court, first of all, we will appeal against it, and secondly, depending on our discretion, up to the point it is complicated to our business, we will provide you with the business perspective, economic perspective. We haven't done that due to the fact that we haven't had registered the amendment we withdrawn from this kind of activity. In the past, such changes into the activity of the company were not regarded major, and I really truly believe that the court will use its reason and do not consider the changes major ones.
Nie widzę. W związku
If there are any questions, I see none. Therefore, I ordain the voting now.
chciałbym zapytać, czy wszyscy akcjonariusze mieli możliwość oddania głosu.
I'd like to ask if all the shareholders were capable of voting. I hereby close the voting, and I'd like the returning committee to provide me with a report from voting.
Dziękuję.
Thank you very much for providing me with the protocol, and I hereby declare that under the voting on a resolution on amendments to the Articles of Association, there were 713,179,831 votes for, 57,567,747 votes against the resolution, and there were 56,916,840 abstentions. And I hereby declare that the resolution has been adopted by the majority of 86.17% of the overall number of votes.
Przystąpimy teraz.
Let us now move on to point 8, that is the resolution on determination of remuneration for members of the Supervisory Board of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. Now, on the 30th June, there was first quotation of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. at the Warsaw Stock Exchange in Warsaw, and the market debut changed the situation, the standing of the company, both in scope of the regulations, but also considerably influenced the expectations towards the company. With regard to the foregoing, it became necessary to determine the remuneration for the members of the Supervisory Board to reflect the current market standing of the company, that is Tauron Polska Energia S.A. By representing a shareholder, that is the State Treasury, I propose that the following amounts for the monthly remuneration of the members of the Supervisory Board is: for the chairperson of the Supervisory Board, the monthly remuneration of 9,000 Polish zlotys, for vice chairman of the Supervisory Board, 8,000 zlotys per month, for the secretary of the Supervisory Board, 7,000 per month, for the member, 6,000 Polish zlotys per month. According to paragraph 35.1.6 of the Articles of Association, determination of remuneration for the Supervisory Board requires that the extraordinary general meeting adopts a resolution. Now, I'd like to ask you if there are any reservations, motions, requests concerning the proposed amount of remuneration for the Supervisory Board members.
Nie widzę.
I can't see any reservations or requests, so let us move on to voting on the resolution concerning remuneration to the members of the Supervisory Board of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. Let me please listen to the wording. Resolution number 6 of the Extraordinary General Meeting of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. of the 10th of November 2010 concerning determination of the remuneration for members of the Supervisory Board for Tauron Polska Energia S.A. Now, acting on the basis of Article 392, Paragraph 1 of the Commercial Companies Code and Paragraph 35, Section 1, Item 6 of the Company's Articles of Association, the Extraordinary General Meeting of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. with the registered office in Katowice resolves as follows. Paragraph 1. The monthly remuneration for members of the Supervisory Board of Tauron Polska Energia S.A. is determined as follows. For the Chairman of the Supervisory Board, 9,000 Polish zlotys per month. For the Deputy Chairman of the Supervisory Board, 8,000 Polish zlotys per month. For the Secretary of the Supervisory Board, 7,000 Polish zlotys. And for a member of the Supervisory Board, 6,000 Polish zlotys. Section 2. The member of the Supervisory Board is entitled to receive the remuneration referred to in Item 1 above, regardless of the frequency of formally convened meetings. Section 3. The member of the Supervisory Board is not entitled to receive the remuneration defined in Item 1 above for the month in which the member was absent without justification from all the meetings. Now, the member's absence can be justified or not through resolution of the Supervisory Board adopted at its meeting. Section 4. Remuneration defined in Item 1 above is calculated proportionally to the number of days of holding the position in cases where an appointment or recall is made in the middle of the month. Section 6. The payment defined in Item 1 above will be paid in arrears by the 10th day of the month following that for which it is due. In Section 6, the company refunds costs be borne in connection with holding the functions by the members of the Supervisory Board, in particular the cost of return travel from the place of residence to the place of the Supervisory Board's meeting or the place of the Supervisory Board Committee's meeting, and the cost of the individual supervision and costs of board and accommodation. Paragraph 2. The resolution number 3 of the Extraordinary General Meeting of 16th May 2007 concerning the principles of remuneration for members of the Managerial Board for the Supervisory Board is repealed. In paragraph 3, the resolution comes into force as of its adoption date and shall be effective as of the first one moment, please.
Od dnia 1 grudnia
As from the 1st of December 2010. I hereby ordain the voting on the wording of the resolution I provided you with.
Jeżeli wszyscy akcjonariusze mieli możliwość
Now, if all the shareholders could vote, let me please close the voting, and I would like the returning committee to submit a protocol from the voting to me. Thank you for the report.
Stwierdzam,
I hereby declare that in voting on resolution concerning remuneration to the members of the Supervisory Board of Tauron Polska Energia, there were 760,098,855 votes for, 0 votes against, and 67,565,563 abstentions from voting. And I hereby declare the resolution adopted. As it was the last point, the last actual point of the agenda of the extraordinary general meeting of the company convened on the 10th of November 2010, I close the meeting. Thank you to all the shareholders for being here. Thank you to Notary Public, to the legal advisor of the returning committee. Thank you to the technical staff and to the management board.